Hey up guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Sheffield United, where, after in the last episode I said Lys Mousset was our best striker, Ryan Brewster took that comment very personally, as he scored 5 times in 5 matches. Yeah, we beat Aston Villa 3-0, Brewster getting 1 in that one. West Brom we lost on penalties. Not reaching that Carabao Cup final, slightly irritating considering we actually got this far. Shrewsbury 4-0, straightforward, 2 more Brewster goals. Evian even scored then. Tottenham 3-0. 2 Brewster goals on a Sander Burge, and Newcastle most recently 2-1 away from home, Montiel, McGoldrick, and then a really poor second half performance, so I'm hoping that doesn't carry on as we play Rotherham in the 4th round of the FA Cup. Now, I didn't bring you the first Leeds match of the season, and that might have been an oversight, but I feel like I could just about get away with that one because obviously we do play them twice in a year. But when it comes to playing Rotherham in a randomly drawn FA Cup situation, I feel like I may not have survived the onslaught of abuse if I hadn't shown you this match. Still got to play Leeds later on. We will be doing that one. But before we move on to the FA Cup, I just like to say we are still 5th, 35 points, only 4 behind Chelsea, which is quite good. The situation behind us is still absolutely ridiculous though. Brighton, 28 points. Everton in 14th, 22 points. 6 points separates 6th from 14th. Just saying. And then the bottom is even just as baffling really. Leeds, 15 points at the bottom right now. 15th, 19 points. 4 points separates that lot down there. It's incredibly tight, pretty much every section of the table. You'd even argue these top 4 separated by 6 points. It's anyone's game. Liverpool unbeaten at this point. Their draws are kind of weird though. The only transfer business to note so far is the acquisition of Benoit Badiashile. That's how I'm reliably informed it is pronounced. So Badiashile has turned up. 11.5 million, not all of it up front, with an extra million if he plays 50 games. He is left-footed. It's a lovely player to have because he can develop from where he is. He's on a star player agreement and 35k. It's a lot, but still less than Ryan Brewster. Just saying. 195 centimetres of left-footed defender who is capable of passing a ball. Determination 14, possibly could be a little bit high. Aggression's a little bit low too. Vision 10 is fine. He's a centre-back, but ideally maybe would want that to be a little bit higher, but like you say, he does have improvement capabilities. Essentially, he came on my radar. It became apparent that he would be interested in joining us, so jump straight on that one. Jump straight on it. Also, in part due to the fact that Jack O'Connell is refusing to sign a new contract, that is reasonable. Worth noting, Alex McBurney agreed to a contract that ended up only being £3,000 more than the one he was already on, so fine. I should just mention, by the way, we did play the attacking formation away at Tottenham, and all the other matches, and in what is now our 5th away match in a row. 5 away matches in a row. It's not fun. Should have mentioned I have actually applied a new skin. You may or not notice it just because all it really does is replace all those big white blocks, which are really irritating to look at, with purple blocks to fit in with the skin that already exists. What it also does is, and one something I didn't even realise was missing from the game, player faces on your lineup. Bet you hadn't noticed either. Yeah, player faces are gone, so now they're back in. I will look into getting a face back now as a result because it looks a bit dumb at this point in time. But what it also does is put those circles back on the lineup too. They're a little bit clumsy in the way they've been added in, I'll be honest, but it's better than nothing in my opinion. A couple of other things to note in terms of the formation is Gagliardini is now a box-to-box and Mousset has been pulled back into a complete forward rather than attacking forward, and that seemed to have done the trick against Tottenham in particular. Helped the players behind him get in a little bit more goal-scoring opportunities. It was Burge behind him who scored, and it was Brewster on the left who scored 2. So that seems to have activated a little bit more link up with the players directly behind him. That being said, against Rotherham, we do actually have one face available, and that's Evian, who is now sadly regarded as my second choice right wing, as Montiel has been putting in those performances. But Ramsdale's in goal because Verup is injured. Stevens, Vavro, Egan, Bogle because Smith is injured. Norwood, Basham, Burke, McGoldrick, Evian and Mousset up front for the time being. I'm going to change that immediately because I've just realised I do have other strikers available. Screw it, Billy Sharp gets a game. It's a game against Rotherham. How could I not include him? I kind of forgot that McGoldrick was directly behind him. Do realistically need to acquire an attacking midfielder. That's the Rotherham lineup. I don't know enough about that. I do recognise Daniel Barlaser, formerly of Newcastle, but other than that, don't really recognise too much of that side. I feel like Jankovic has been around. Obviously, Jamal Blackburn's been around. Wes Harding rings a bell, but realistically, don't know enough about this side. Probably should do as a Sheffield United manager. Quite defensive from them, though. A 4-4-1-1, I do notice. Blackburn with a very good punt up the pitch. It's got to be said. Great goal kick. As I already not fan of this. Maicon, presumably not that one. Doesn't trouble the goalkeeper at all there. And 7 minutes into the game, Norwood's on a 7.0 already. Don't know why he did to deserve that. I do notice their right back is already knackered, actually, so excuse me while I just say focus down the left, please. His name, I just noticed that Mycon's name in the formation is Mycon Bolt. Wonderful. Don't know who he is, but wonderful. You've just told me to play a short passing play. Make your bloody minds up. I'm just going to put it back to normal. What a thrilling first half that was. Somehow they've had 2 shots, 0 on target with a 0.22 XG. Meanwhile, we've had 9 shots with 7 on target and a 0.35. Rash Arms, I'm far from pleased. Get back out there, win this bloody match, you cretins. This is what I get for choosing Basham over Osborne. Fitness-wise, our team seems to be okay. The knackered right back's gone off, so back to normal. One thing I don't understand is it says we've seen Denis Favreau getting skinned all too often today, and then Favreau's on a 7.5. It can't be both. Now Ramsdale's on a 6.2. God knows how. As far as I'm aware, they've not had a shot on target, so how can he be on a 6.2? Surely he's got to be exactly neutral on his goalkeeping ability today. Penalty, perhaps? Billy Sharp will take the penalty, because of course he will. Go on, Billy Sharp. There we are. Billy Sharp has a goal for me. That's all I need. I've already sent him on a coaching course, by the way, Sheffield United fans, so even if he does end up retiring at the end of the year, perhaps, he will be at the club next year, regardless. McGoldrick now, who I didn't realise was actually 33 years old until recently, I have been potentially looking to move him on a bit just because he is worth like 3 or 4 million at this point as he puts a goal in. I'm not sure whether or not I want to move him on. He is worth a little bit considering his age, but if he doesn't go, I'm not going to be mad because he does seem to be contributing as he makes it 2. And I think just getting that penalty has unlocked what was a stubborn Rotherham defence up until that point. I say unlocked a stubborn Rotherham defence. We did have double-digit shots before that point, I presume. Nicely onside. Oh, that's... In terms of the instructions for the formation, I have removed a few of them. A few of the instructions that had been left over from when that formation was being used with the more dominant side in the end of the York career. So, yeah, we no longer counter-press. We're no longer deliberately trying to play people offside. We pulled the line a little bit back as well, just to preserve a little bit more defensibility. That's not a word. It seems to have done the job for January so far. I did not make a single change. I didn't realise we were at 90 minutes. Although, you say that, look at the team. Look how untired they are in general. And any player I brought on would have been an improvement to the side. In the end, the XG told the story. Rotherham didn't do literally anything in the second half, I don't think. Right, in the end, I'm pleased with how that went. Fulham, slap bang in the middle of the table, 10th right now, in a couple of days' time. I love the fact, by the way, that the scoreline, for some reason, enters before this does. So it just looks like someone's written it in the clouds. Any upsets? Reading over Palace? Blackburn over West Brom, technically. It's not a massive upset. Millwall over Aston Villa, perhaps. Aston Villa doing quite well, actually, so that is a bit of an upset in this game world. Actually, Aston Villa doing well in real life. Man City only 1-0 over Sheffield Wednesday. That's probably disappointing for Man City. It's a win, but it's disappointing. Cup matches seem to not bring post-match press conferences, as I get superb dressing room atmosphere. Well, we should just mention at the end of the year, Sergio Gomez is coming in. He doesn't have a work permit. Bit awkward, so he's going to have to go straight back out again. For a future transfer, no pounds up front. I suspect he's going to be worth a little bit. So the very, very worst case scenario, he's going to be sold on. Someone who isn't going to be sold on and does have a work permit is Jared Hendricks coming in at the end of the year as well. I kind of realised that Cabaye was going to be gone at the end of the year, and also Ampadu, who can play in that more defensive role slightly further back, which I think is what Jared prefers. Jared Hendricks is a weird one, because I remember him being like one of those particularly FIFA wonder kids that you would always get in on career mode on FIFA 7 or 8 years ago. Now he's 25, not quite lived up to that, but decent mentals on him. We'll see him at the end of the year. We'll also see Junior Casera, because he is a 4-star right back. Also loves to play complete wing back. Feel a little bit sorry for Adam Smith / Jayden Bogle, depending on which one's going to lose out here. But how could I turn that one down? Signed him, of course, during the Hertha Berlin challenge last year, and he did well there, so plays both sides as well, which is kind of crucial. He's actually 3.5 complete wing back on the left-hand side. Right footed, of course, so he would have to play inverted. Couple of others being worked on for end of contract as well, but I don't think either of them are going to get work permits. They are on the younger side, though, so I don't really mind sending them back out again. I think both of them are 19, though, as well, so neither of them will get homegrown club status, so I don't mind sending them out. Here's one of them. Oh, tell a lie, Matthias Palacios actually is 18. 86 scouting rating. Wage demands. I gave him more than what his wage demands were. I don't know why that was. I think it's because he opened up with 15,000, and then I didn't have enough wages in it, so when I bopped it down, it went to 160 quid. And then I panicked and couldn't remember what it was on before. 20 determination, though. He's going to be something, I think. I think he's one of this year's wonder kids. I don't know. All I know is his scouting report does say maybe 5 stars. Has a good chance of being accepted upon appeal, so who knows? We do have 120 days before we can do another one. I'm going to say yes to that, though, because 13k a week still isn't terrible. If we have to load him out, we have to load him out. The other one is less problematic because he is 19. Actually, the other one might have already gone through. It did, he was at the bottom. Francisco Gonzalez, same kind of situation. High scout report, maybe 5 stars. This one's more susceptible and less consistent, but he is 19. The key thing is, inverted wing on the right-hand side. Might be an upgrade on Evian if he develops a little bit more. 18 determination, similar kind of boat to the other lad. Good determination, well-rounded, good potential. We'll find out. Both of these Argentinians, by the way, I did accidentally try to sign in January properly before cancelling and then realising I could sign them at the end of the year for nothing. And thankfully, it worked out on both of them, because Palacios in particular had a little bit of interest before I managed to sneak back in. Not my finest moment. Billy Sharp deters Mousset from wanting any more money for the time being. Thank you, Billy. That's why I want to keep you around. Lewis Cook's interested. Might be one for next year. To show you the draw for the 5th round, and it opens with Liverpool Man United. Wow. Dodge Man City as well. Dodge Chelsea. A couple of Championship and League One sides going. Well, we've got Wolves then, because it's the only one left. We do play at home, though. Wolves, like Leicester last year as well. Underrated in the game, I feel like. So that's not a bad draw. Could have been better, of course, but it could have been way worse, as you saw. 48k for Lucas Vasquez. He wanted 81,000 from me. Well, no, he wanted 83,000, sorry. 81 was the maximum I could offer, and I just, no. Alvedi is a similar situation as well. To Leicester, who might go down, by the way. Bielsa's over there now. Squad player, 61k, wanted 80,000 odd from me. Blimey heck. Still to see that, I think, in FM21. They're actually suggesting we go attacking on this, and I kind of agree. As we restore some of the first 11. Curiously, it might be a little bit weird to see it, but Jack Robertson is my first choice left back at this point in time. He's just done better than Ender Stevens, although actually it looks like Ender had a decent game last time out. And his last 5 isn't too bad, not far off, 6.96, and that includes what is clearly a very poor match at some point. So maybe Ender is still the better option. One of those 50-50 ones. Badia Shield back in at left defensive centre. My brain stopped working halfway through that. And yeah, that seems to be the first 11 at this point in time. Ramsdale, Stevens, Badia Shield, Egan, Bogle, Norwood, Gagliardini, Brewster, Burge, Toffel, Montiel, and Mousset up front. Montiel, man, what a man, what a man. Developing. When does his actual contract run out? 2023. That's a shame. Gotta say, out of all my loans, the one I just brought in as cover, not expecting him to be the best. Well, the first 15 minutes pass and the first shot has just gone in for both sides. Quite quick games today, it feels like. I've demanded more, but quite frankly, I'm just demanding something. And something we're getting. Montiel playing the short corner. Do notice that they did cover the short play this time. And that's the closest we've come to an agile high. Bogle with a long throw, which haven't been overpowered this year, although I say that, and that's the one that's gone straight in. Mousset takes it on the volley and joins Ree and Brewster with 8 goals now. I think they're both on the same again now. Lovely ball there, and yeah, it just comes over his shoulder, volleys it in. Defender doesn't track him well enough. I feel like playing Fulham is a bit awkward because their home and away kits are our main colours, no matter which way around they want to do it, as indicated by this XG graph, which is very hard to tell apart. Our goal being the main decider there. Tottenham, you can do even better, and away we go once more. Harrison Reed and Greaser. This is nicely played, actually, and Lookman wide, thankfully. Unlike Lookman to try the dink. Poor Adam. Poor Lookman, really. I mean, he went for it, and boy did it backfire. Congolo. This has been played around their back 3, and it's kind of confusing, but it's managed to bypass our midfield and Loftus-Cheek now. Mitrovic in surprising space. Cans it off the woodwork, and Benoit, mate, can you please wait for Aaron to get back up before you try the back pass? Because that could have gone horrifically wrong. Bogle, Norwood, both a bit tired. Norwood, Basham can cover a right back reasonably well, and Osborne in the middle covers the 2 most tired players. Bruce is injured. Thank God I kept a third one there. Oliver Burney's back, so he can play on the left. Nakajima's got a virus, by the way. Not that I play him anyway. Yeah, Nakajima was just non-existent to me anymore. What a disappointment he was. Probably the highest profile player we brought in, and dear Lord, he's terrible. But McBurney back in the good books for the time being. Let's see if he can do anything in these final stages of this match as Lookman and Montiel exchange possession back and forth. Montiel's actually got all the way through, and well, that could have gone better. 30 seconds of the half to go, and we intercept that terrible, terrible throw-in. Burgess running down the side. I was worried we were going to lose possession there, but it's with Stevens now. Finds Mousset, who can get past the defender if he's good. He's not good, and somehow actually scoops it wide on the far side. I was expecting a near post save, if anything. But 1-0, a little bit scrappy perhaps in the end, but we should have scored 1.5. The XG on this graph actually is disagreeing with the XG on this graph. I don't think it included the final shot. Bug, perhaps? Hands on hips, not really neutral. I think I'm going to go neutral in my gesture, but good win in the end. They are mid-table. Mousset's great. Brewster, I don't know how long he's out for. That's the big news, I suppose. 5 to 6 weeks with a twisted ankle. Egan could do with a rest. He's only played 2 games in a row, but alright. He win 5 straight in the league, though. So, bit of transfers dealings to be done, but it is Everton and Southampton on the far side of that. So I think what we're going to do is move ahead a little bit further on. Kind of want to bring in the Wolves 5th round, but I feel like that's a little bit too close again. So perhaps we might go all the way to West Ham and Leeds, because otherwise we're going to have a short gap here as well. So West Ham and Leeds, I think. If we get past Wolves, I don't know where the 6th round pops in, so it might end up being Leeds in that, if that's the case. But I'll see you for that. Until then, ta-ra.